welcome on in. I know what you're thinking. Where's Willie Cage? Where was he? Where was our savior and our hero for reviewing movies and stuff? And all I can say about that is I got vague memories, man. I mean, that name sounds familiar. People do say it around me, especially the creator. But I am Wilfred Von Ghoul. Name courtesy of my creator. Who is he? Well, in due time, you'll figure it out. But today, let's discuss Scream 7. Now, what is Scream 7 about? What is it? What are we dealing with here? And believe it or not, there is a masked killer coming after Sidney. I know, big shocker, right? We got about 5 solid movies with her in it. I mean, one of them, actually 2 of them, she wasn't getting chased, but she was in one of them where she wasn't getting chased. But either way, she's getting chased again. Who is it? Psh, gosh, if I know. I mean, I do know. I did watch the movie. But you don't, maybe. Unless you watch the movie and you just want to hear my groovy opinion on it, right? The story of the movie, more or less, is we got Sidney. She got a husband and some children. Her husband's Mark. He's a cop for the new town they're living in. I cannot remember the name for it. It's not Woodsboro, though. I know that much. And she got, I think it's 3 children, but 2 of them are not in the movie. They're off with grandmas, chilling away from the killers. We got Tatum, her daughter, named after her friend from the first movie. And you know, everything's going amazing, right? I mean, we're living a good suburban life, chilling, no more killing, or at least the killing's away from you this time. And you're just trying to chillax. When all of a sudden you get a call from that all familiar voice, right? But this time it's different because this time they just FaceTime Sidney and just reveal it to be Stu. Am I right? But wait a second. Didn't he die in the first movie? I mean, he got his skull bashed in with a TV, right? I mean, right? Or is he dead? I mean, they didn't double tap him Zombieland style. And I don't know, that for whatever reason seems to be a big freaking rule in this movie, especially in this movie. I mean, it was a rule kind of in other movies, but it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? This one, it's like on there like white on rice. So obviously, when you kill somebody, they usually don't come back from the dead. Unless you're me, of course. But I was made for many dead people, not just one. I mean, the creator did do a pretty good job, if I do say so myself. Am I right? Now, the other part of this movie, besides trying to figure out if Stu is alive or not, is Sidney more or less dealing with the opposite of what Laurie Strode dealt with in the last Halloween trilogy. I mean, Laurie Strode, right? She was so paranoid of Michael coming back that she fortified her house. She taught her children all these crazy things. They got taken away by the state because how unfit she was for a mother because she was so paranoid of him coming back for her and her family. Am I right? But Sidney is a bit different in this one. She's trying to move on with her life and not relive the trauma that she was put through about 5 or 6 other times. Fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't either. But in doing so, she kind of puts a strain on the relationship with her daughter, Tatum, because she wants to know about her mother. You know, what was she doing? Like every other child. But she doesn't want to talk about her killer boyfriend, and her friend, his mother that ended up wanting to be a killer, her secret brother that she had wanted to kill her, her cousin wanted to kill her for fame, and so on and so forth. I mean, fair enough. You know, I wouldn't want to talk about it either. And she doesn't want to talk about it, so Tatum kind of gets angry. You know what I'm saying? Fair enough. Since this is a horror movie, and we know that a killer is going to come out, Sidney not talking about it and kind of almost pulling a Laurie Strode leaves her daughter very vulnerable to the killers because she doesn't know how to shoot a gun. She doesn't know how to fight back. She doesn't know how to run out the house instead of running up the stairs. She doesn't know Randy's golden rules for surviving horror movies.
Rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
So she's like a sitting duck. I know I revealed a little bit about Stu FaceTiming Sidney, but in all fairness, it's everywhere on the internet. And I actually got it ruined a day before the movie even came out. I was like scrolling on the internet and it just popped up. Anyway, let's talk about what I liked in this movie. You know, let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly, my dear friend, is very ugly. let's talk about the good first. You know, good now, bad later. That's just the way I roll. Now, if you go on the internet, I could understand why everybody hates this movie and thinks it's the worst one in the entry. However, I think it's not a horrible movie. It's not the greatest movie. It's not the worst movie. It's pretty alright. And I'm a big fan of the opening scene. There's a couple. They go into this Airbnb, but it's no ordinary Airbnb. It's the Mocker House. That's right, that guy. Or rather, that location. And it has like all the staff, mask on the walls, the movie posters. They got statues here, statues there. They got the outlines on the floor where somebody got stabbed and the whole nine. I mean, if it was real, I would probably want to go down there. But it's not, so I can't. And although you might think it's cheesy, because I thought it was like pretty cheesy as well, but I feel like it was like in a good way, you know? You watch a movie, it's the 7th in the series. I mean, how high can your expectations get? I mean, I'll backtrack a little in a moment for a reason. I'll tell you why in a moment. Besides the opening scene though, I want to say these kills are pretty wicked. Except for maybe like 1 or 2 that are pretty damn lame. The rest are like top notch. I mean, even from the opening scene, I'm pretty sure they showed in the trailer, so not really a spoiler. But the chandelier kill, the girl's hanging on there for dear life, trying not to fall. She falls down, the Ghostface rolls over with his knife. She falls on top of it. That's pretty creative and groovy in my book. And like I was saying, the story, it's not the worst story there is. Are there better stories in the entry? Of course, nobody's beating number 1. Nobody. Not even you. Or me. Another thing I liked what they did is throughout the movie, you know, when Ghostface is about to strike, they kind of do like this Michael Myers-y thing where you can kind of faintly see his face in the background or somewhere, and then, you know, then he pops out. I feel like it made it all that more creepier. It made Ghostface seem that more of like a supernatural presence. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's get to the bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm saying. But do you know what I'm saying? The bad of this movie. Because the bad is bad, and the ugly is ugly. But we get to the ugly after. Spoiler alert from here on out. I mean, there might have been like a little thing here and too. Not too major, but from here on out, it's just going out. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't watched it and you want to, you know, be surprised with everything, leave. Then come back. So, bros and broettes, Stu is AI. And this is how I felt about Stu being AI. Let's say you were standing in front of me, took your hand, cupped it, came up to me, cocked it back, and swung as hard as you could at my eardrum. Because it was just a slap in the face to me and all the other people. Especially when it comes to the reveal. So obviously if he's AI, he's not the killer. It's some other people or person. But during the reveal, they're like, did you really think Stu is alive, you idiot? Or something among those lines, right? And to me, the whole idea is very, very stale. Super stale. You know what the fans want. And then you tease it to us, and then you're just like, psych. Very stale. Very, very stale. Especially in this manner. I mean, I feel maybe there's like some other ways they could have did it, like him not being alive and the whole nine. But when you do it like that, it's either you give it to us or you don't give it to us. Because to me, it's just a big middle finger, right? To a fan that loves the series. Plus, Billy Loomis isn't like everything Scream related. I don't know why Stu is not. I mean, think about it. He's in number 1, number 5, number 6. I mean, he's not alive. He's like a ghost or whatever. Like outside of it, like Mortal Kombat, the last one that came out, they had Ghostface. So you're thinking, all right, that's cool. When you hit the X-ray or whatever, the mask comes off and it's just Billy Loomis. Where's Stu? There's 2 of them and it's just Billy Loomis. Where's the love? What's DX without Triple H? What's Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen? What's NWA without Ice Cube? I mean, they were still NWA, but they weren't as good without Ice Cube. Now, let's talk about the ugly, right? And I'm gonna do my best to keep it just a movie, but at first, I want to talk about this. Had it not been for, I don't know if it was the studio or this, I don't know who directly, but there was some candy-ass decisions that were made for whatever reason, because Melissa Barrera was punished for using her First Amendment. That's right, our First Amendment. You know, the thing that's allowing me to speak right now to you and say what I want about this movie. And she was using it, I think, in a pretty good way. She wasn't bashing anybody. She wasn't tearing down the studio or coworkers or this or that. What she was doing was speaking out on some pretty fucked up things, all right? But for whatever reason, she got punished. Get? That's what I'm saying, right? So she got the boot, and Jenna Ortega, I feel, was being a pretty good person, pretty good. I don't know if they're friends in real life, but at least pretty good co-star at the very least. It was like, well, if she's out, I'm out. And I don't blame those two for anything from this movie, right? Because obviously they have no control over it. But whoever made that decision, very stale, very, very stale. Because with this movie, it could have been, with the trilogy, could have been way better, right? I mean, that's what I think. I was pretty invested in the other two. Maybe not my favorite Scream movies, but they had something going with it. Now let's go back to the ugly within the movie. All right, now we're back in the movie. That was a little bit off topic, but we're going back. My biggest problem that ruins this movie for me is these characters have like little to no personality connected to them. I mean, besides like Tatum, the other new characters, like I could care less about. I don't even remember half their names because my brain just did not care or was connected enough with any of them to want to remember it. And I know what you're thinking, but you're reviewing a movie, you should know their names. Yeah, if they were important and cool enough, right? I mean, imagine watching Evil Dead. Ash Williams was nowhere as cool as he was in the movie. You wouldn't care. We basically got Tatum's boyfriend, who was basically like a red herring the whole movie because he was essentially like a diet version of Billy Loomis, sneaking in the window, acting creepy, the whole nine. Then we got the kids from Stranger Things, who was like creepy, another red herring because he was like obsessed with true crime and super obsessed with Sidney Prescott in the Woodsboro murders and this and that. Then there was Chloe, who was more or less kind of like a happy-go-lucky girl in the group, but other than that, I can't remember much about her, besides she was like in love with the Stranger Things kid. And then other than that, there was like one other girl, I can't remember a single thing besides she dies in the beginning. She gets her, which was a pretty cool kill. One of the coolest kills in the movie, by the way. She gets suspended in the theater by cables and is sliced open by Ghostface. Pretty gnarly, pretty gnarly. Like I said, the kills, pretty gnarly. When all this whole freaking friend group ends up dying, I literally don't even care. Versus when like Randy died in Scream 2, I was shocked. I was hurt. I liked Randy as a character. When Dewey was killed for whatever reason in Scream 5, I was hurt. He got killed. He was a really good character. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the other movies, when the characters got killed, I was like, damn, I like them. I wish they survived. But this one, I could care less. But worse than that is the killers. The big reveal in the movie. You know, the whole thing the Scream is about is the big reveal at the end of the movie. Through every movie, the big reveal, right? And the reveal absolutely sucked. It sucked. These two Ghostfaces, well, actually there's three. These three Ghostfaces had like little runtime in the whole movie. It was so little that when they took their mask off, I forgot who the hell they even were. For example, we're introduced to Jessica, who is Sydney's neighbor, right? She's their neighbor. One of the beginning scenes, the coffee shop with Sydney, just doing a little talk, but it's not much. It's like, whatever. There's also the mother of the Stranger Things kid. All right, cool. Later in the movie, when Gale shows up, the Stranger Things kid kind of gets the third degree from Gale because she's trying to figure out if he's the killer or not. And then the mother steps in and, basically tells her to get away from my son. And after that, I'm pretty sure that's like the last time we see her. And that's like maybe 3 minutes worth of movie that she's in. The other two are even worse. One of them is in the same coffee scene where we're introduced to Jessica, right? And he literally just picks up his coffee and gives Sydney a weird look. And that's like the last time we see him until he's revealed to be a killer. And the third one, I guess, is slightly better than that guy. But he's also in one scene in the movie before the reveal, right? He's working at the mental ward as a guard or something. And he's showing Sydney around where the first killer, the psycho guy, basically, was living when he was there and whatnot. And then other than that, gone with the wind. Literally gone with the wind until the end of the movie. Now, what was the motive though? Because to me, the motive wasn't that horrible. I mean, if you look throughout the whole series of Scream, is any motive really like good? Some better than others, but to say this is the worst one and not the last movie of Scream 6, which I think was the worst motive, you know what I'm saying? Is I feel like it's a little unfair. But the reason why it is so horrible is because these people are in like 2 damn clips of the whole movie. The motive, what is it? Why? Why did she want to kill Sydney? Why? Jessica, many years ago, was in an abusive relationship with her husband, right? So she ended up reading Sidney Prescott's book, Out of the Darkness. She ended up becoming a hero to Jessica, right? So she looked up to Sydney in a godlike manner. So she, for whatever reason, got the idea to kill her husband move on with her life, right? And then Sydney didn't show up in the Scream 6, right? Because the studio didn't want to pay Neve Campbell what she's worth and wanted to lowball her. I mean, Sydney did not show up to save the day in Scream 6, and when that didn't happen, Jessica just felt like her hero betrayed her. You know? Her God betrayed her. Somebody she looked up to betrayed her, and that is not cool by her standards. So after feeling betrayed by her God, she checks herself into a mental ward where she ends up meeting the two other killers, right? I don't even think it says why they even joined her besides to kill people. I mean, the other guy is just a serial killer, so he's probably on board with killing women just for no reason. But I don't even think it goes into why the other guy started killing. Anyway, while in there, she comes up with the idea that she needs to create a new final girl. She needs a new savior for everybody. That being Tatum, Sydney's daughter. So she was going to kill Sydney to create this new final girl, more or less. It's not the worst motive there is. Scream 6 was much worse. And then in number 2, I'm pretty sure Billy's mom just hired some guy off Craigslist to help her kill people. So you know what I'm saying? Like, but to backtrack a little bit and to wrap it up, had they added more scenes and gave these people some personality and like a little bit of pizzazz and sprinkle here and sprinkle there, with a reveal wouldn't it be as sucky? And then in return, the movie would be less sucky because it's like, oh, all right. Versus they take off their mask and you're like, oh? Because that was literally my reaction. He took off the mask and I literally had to fucking take like 20 seconds for my brain to power up and remember that this person was actually in the movie and not some just random character out of nowhere. I mean, it kind of was, but you know what I'm saying. So what do I think of Scream 7 at the end of the day, all in all, you know? What do I think of Scream 7? I think it's all right. You know, it's not the worst movie there is. It's not the best movie, most definitely. Feel like it should have went in a different direction. I mean, with Stu, we have Matthew Lillard right there. We have what we want right there. The steak is right there. Give me the steak. And instead, they give you some chicken. Not what I asked for. You know what I'm saying? Or we could have finished the trilogy that we were kind of on the path to, you know? But that's just what I want. From a scale of 1 to 5, what am I going to rate it? I'm going to give this like a 2.5. I'm not in a rush to rewatch it. At some point, maybe. Not today, not tomorrow. If it's on, I'll let it play in the background or something. So that's the video for today. What am I going to review next time? Well, you got to stay tuned, Kemosabe. But until then, you, my friend, stay groovy.